A Birthday Book by Cheryl Elizabeth, read by the author. Introduction. This book is written through the gifts of mediumship, a surprise to the author that her sister Cheryl wanted to share her life among these pages, a life filled with contrast, a life lived in the fullness and in the emptiness. The author was challenged writing the words, for it came with deep emotions and an understanding that each soul is here for great reason and grand purpose. The book is tenderly written by two sisters, one upon Mother Earth, the other dancing in the heavens, both free in the expansion to bring forth their own light, to share light with others, for the desire is to help another become aware of one's beauty and inner essence of grand light. Listen with an open heart. Even though it is open to judgment, the words written are to help others in the purest sense of love. Chapter 1, From the Heart of Cheryl Elizabeth. Growing up as a kid with nothing much to do, I found my way of entertainment. With two sisters at hand, and a brother who truly didn't at first care for his younger sisters, for he wanted a brother, and a brother he did not receive. I came along after my older sister, and after me was my little sister, who thankfully was not far in age. Therefore, we were together at all times. My older siblings were years older, 5 and 7 years older. So, along with the many cats that lived in the outdoor shed and in our house, I created a world that was all mine, a world that took me to places that I could only dream about. My imagination was my very best friend. As a child, I could not wait until I was old enough to explore the world on my own. I knew I was different than the others. They seemed so content with country living. They seemed rather satisfied and happy, joyful really, to be living among the acres that surrounded our home. Along with the cats, we had a few dogs. I loved them all very dearly, and it was through my dog Spunky that I could explore the world. I could see what he could see. I could feel what he could feel. I think we both thought the family was rather nuts. Spunky and I spent endless days together, along with my little sister, of course. We would dress Spunky up in clothing that he was not fond of, but for imagination purpose and the knowing of his thoughts, I could lose myself among the clouds that floated by, among the green grass under my feet. I could truly see beyond what others could see, and that made me very different. Days were spent trying to understand why others were so content with living away from the city. I love the city. Even as a very small child, I would dream of living in a skyrise, the grandest, greatest, tallest skyrise that one could ever live in. However, I settled for the trees I could climb in. I settled for the porch to watch the sun set. I knew I was to be more than what I was experiencing, and everyone just sort of thought I was rather odd. My little sister, playful little thing, always wanting to be by my side, always wanting to keep up, to show up, and to please me. I knew in my heart that my little sister held the glory of the world. My little sister was so different from me. We were both loved so dearly. We were both treated the same clothes, different color, for my mom loved to sew. Same coats in the winter, same hand-knit mittens, but something was very different, for we each knew the world would hold us, and yet we would have to search for who we were without standing beside the other. The girls we were often referred to, the little blonde girls that live in the old brick home. We were so well known in our little place, which offered the grandest country setting one could ever ask for. Needing a car everywhere we wanted to go, we would have to wait until Mom decided to leave for the chores, groceries, errands, or just leave for a country drive. For my mom had the same desires of wanting something more, while my little sister only wanted the peacefulness that our family home provided. Now Spunky, he became my eyes to the world, you could say. I would sit on the porch with Spunky by my side, asking him, if we could run away just to explore the world, where would we go? Each and every time I asked Spunky the question, he would lift his head to the great sky. I would ask him, do you want to go in a plane? And he would look at me, beyond me. He would place his paw upon my leg and look towards the sky with the most gentle and loving and thoughtful gaze and the peacefulness that one could ever experience. I would look and see the clouds fluffy in the sky. I would see the different colors each day, for each day Spunky and I sat as we conversed our daily afternoon of summer hours. What is up in the sky? I would ask my Spunky dearest. He would look beyond. Are you looking at heaven? I gently asked. Spunky understood. Spunky understood heaven. I understood heaven. For as I write this, I am in heaven among the grand oneness of love. You see, I have departed the great earth to be one with all, to be the great I am as I was upon the earth. I am with Spunky, I am with my Father, I am with all. While I was upon the earth, I wanted to understand people. I wanted to understand what made people choose what they chose for life. Why is it the rich are rich and the poor are poor? Why is it that the hungry are hungry and the ones that flourish have enough to throw away? I pondered so many things as a small child. I wanted to know the world, and I felt captive in the small place that I was raised. My dad, who is sitting here with me, always wanted his children to have the best of nourishment, meaning the best of Mother Earth, to breathe in the country air that was crisp and clean feeling. When clothes came in off the clothesline, I understood what the world truly smelled like. I thought about why my parents chose to raise their family in what I felt was the confines of restriction. I wanted to explore the world, and yet, to my little sister, even to this day, she has found pure contentment in her country setting, surrounded by wildlife and little critters that knock on the door. Why is that one is content with the smallest of things, and another never content with the world on a silver platter? I like heaven. I started the book to share what childhood was like, because as I outgrew the country home and became an adult to make my own decisions, boy, did I mess up. Sitting in heaven, reflecting on life upon Mother Earth, truly creates a knowing of great love. Love so pure and so grand, there is no words that could or would ever describe the light of the heavenly love. So, as an adult in my last lifetime, I messed up, but along the way, I did really good things. My little sister is the one typing the words for me. My little sister is the one that has the gifts of mediumship. While upon Mother Earth, I didn't understand, and perhaps, just perhaps, I didn't want to. I didn't want to know about heaven while I was knowing of my last days upon Mother Earth. I didn't want to know, although one knows from the deepest place that heaven is grand, and all that one can only imagine to be. So I transitioned from the earth to the heavens, and I know that I can speak to my little sister that, for most, wouldn't understand what that truly means. The book has come about because my little sister called me forth, not by intention, but by missing and talking with me as she spends her days in the freedom of her own freedom. I now understand what she was trying to tell me all those years. She would say, I will always be here for you. I will always have your back, no matter what destruction you create or the path you choose to help others. She wanted me to live strong. She wanted to live strong, but truly, I didn't know how. falling into the world of drugs and alcohol. Falling, one can say, like prey, the others luring the vulnerable. I'm not blaming anyone for my choices in my last life, for my choices were my choices because I wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted to know what made people do the things they do. I wanted to know poverty and wealth. I wanted to know the contrast of life, and I sure had my days filled with the contrast of life. There were many times I came close to leaving the planet before I did. I lived a rather destructive and uncaring life for several years, and I will admit, I wanted to challenge God. I wanted to challenge my family. I wanted to challenge life itself, to show me what it was all about, to show me what it was all about. Why do ones live so well and others fall prey, fall behind, just fall? Why do ones excel and always get it right? I wanted to get it right, but in my own way, against what people thought I should do or be. I always worked against the grain, one may say. And why? So I could understand life itself, in the raw, in the powerless and the powerful. So many times I felt powerful. So many times I felt powerless. On my knees and begging for forgiveness. On my knees and screaming to be heard, to be seen, to be found, to be known, to be loved, to be understood. So the book is titled A Birthday Book by Cheryl Elizabeth because I always wanted to write my life story. To write any story, really, but to write my life story so I would never be forgotten. When we are upon the grand earth creating and living life, we put off what is truly important. Perhaps, I should say, I put off what was truly important. So, as a child, when my birthday came about, my little sister would be so happy for me. She wanted to celebrate. She wanted to have cake. She loved my birthday as much as I did, and that never changed. The book has been yet another birthday present that she has given me. For yesterday was my birthday of my last lifetime, and my little sister held me close in her heart to celebrate me once again. I write this book to share my story. I write this book as a gift to my little sister. I write this book for each soul that struggles in life, that can truly test life, to bring about the grandest contrast to find oneself. And the irony is, most don't make it before the knowing upon the earth. To find eternal love of who you are truly is the grandest search of eternal light. I was ready for the change. I was ready to transition into the heavens, for I knew I trusted in the God that saved me so many times. I trusted in my angels. I trusted in the heartbreak and the heartache. And if I wasn't so damn angry at the life I created, I would have loved myself.